What's up, guys? It's Addy here, back with another video, and I'm so happy to be back. I've had so much going on, but I'm finally back. I'm finally coming at you with another video. It's another trade video. So let's get right into it. I haven't played NBA in a long time, but I'm back into it. I'm back and following all the stuff that's been going on. My past video, if you did not check that out, you guys should go check that out about Hassan Whiteside being traded to the Cavs. Now, that's not been finalized yet, but I still have a strong feeling about that going through. And I really believe that that is a good option for both sides. And yeah, moving forward, a lot of new stuff happening these days, and I want to get into that. So yeah, let's go right into it. So is about um, this video is about some new stuff, Jimmy Butler, and specifically Nikola Vucevic is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Honestly, guys, I think this offseason's been pretty good. I mean, I think it's been pretty up and down. I don't think it's been amazing, but it's been fun to watch. So I think there's still some stuff left to do, and I think that definitely some stuff is going to happen. Now, the Magic have been pretty vocal about this, but Vucevic is pretty much on the trade block. And to me, there are a lot of teams that could be in the front running for this guy. I personally really love his game. I think he's got a great, smooth three-point shot, deep two jumper. He's fantastic offensively down low. And I think he's a pretty good defender. You know, he's developed over time, and I think he's become even better. So to me personally, obviously based on what I picked, my favorite for where he should go and who should try to get him is definitely the San Antonio Spurs. I think they will gel very well together. I think his game mimics to me a type of game that is played by Greg Popovich and what he would like to see, because you know, Pavlovich is a very defensive-minded guy, but he also likes to get down in the paint, you know, play traditional type ball. And I think Vucevic is that kind of good passer, center position that it would work really well to have him in the lineup, in my opinion. I think he's young, he's talented, and now that, you know, the San Antonio's shaking stuff up, they're trying to still stay relevant in the West, and he's definitely going to be a great role player. You know, I don't think he can be the guy to lead a team to a championship. Obviously, I don't see him as a very high all-star type player, but I do see him as a strong role player. I think he's a fantastic, one of the top role players in the league, because he can do so much in the paint that's so unnoticed because of where he is. You know, a lot of times when people are in Orlando, they're just not being seen. You know, same with Victor Oladipo. This could be a Victor Oladipo situation where he comes out and he just gels with another team so much better. You know, Oladipo was in the Magic, and everyone called him kind of like a bust. You know, he was very irrelevant. And he had some good games. You know, I think those some of the games are undermined, and he was kind of like the main man in Orlando. But now that he's out, he's with the Pacers. He led them to the playoffs, and they played a great series against LeBron James. I mean, they won games. It was just fantastic to watch such a young guy do that. So I think Vucevic could have that situation on his hands as well, you know, because same with DeMar DeRozan. When I heard about DeRozan's trade, I thought that this trade was perfect because of the way DeRozan plays, and I think Greg Popovich can just make guys better. So adding him to the lineup will definitely help them a lot more. You know, they were trying to get rid of Kawhi Leonard, and now that they have, and they've gotten a new face for the team, DeMar DeRozan, he's gonna need some help. You know, he's not as good as Kawhi Leonard, and they are losing a lot of their guys. They just lost Manu Ginobili, who I would like to take a second to say, you know, Manu's one of my favorite players of all time, and I have nothing but respect for all of the guys that were in that big three. I loved watching them growing up, and truly, it's a blessing to have watched a guy like Manu Ginobili, who was so humble and so efficient and like such a great scorer and playmaker, that it was just so fun to watch him. So nothing but respect for Manu. But now that he's gone, it's a big hit in terms of their veteran presence and in terms of, you know, like who knows what to do. You know, they've lost two guys who had a lot of experience, Manu Ginobili and Kawhi Leonard, and now they're getting guys who don't have experience, like DeMar DeRozan. They got LaMarcus Aldridge, but he doesn't have any NBA Finals experience either, or deep in the playoffs experience. So I think they need some more help down there. Now that they've lost Manu Ginobili, they need some more scorers. They need some more in there, and the playmaking version as well. And I think DeMar DeRozan will be fine with that. And I don't think they will. I'm not sure about where I stand in terms of if they'll make the playoffs or not, but I definitely think they'll be a pretty great team. And I think I really love the addition of DeMar DeRozan. I think that was one of the best situations they could have came out with, because they were really scrapping to find anything, and I'm glad that they didn't just go into the rebuild. I think the Spurs are a team that are just steadily really amazing, and I want to see them be good. So I think this was a great trade, and I hope that DeMar DeRozan can expand his game even more, and they can grow as a team. And Vucevic, I think, can help that a lot, because he's great inside. He's a team player, and I think adding him to a team that's already a team-playing team, which is a really weird sentence, but it makes sense. It's just, I think it's a great fit, and, it's best for him to get out of Orlando, and for Orlando to get rid of him. Orlando, on the other hand, they'll probably get some good Spur assets. The Spurs have some young players, some stuff they can help out with, and I'll help Orlando with. And Orlando, they don't need Vucevic anymore. They have Mo Bamba, who, in my opinion, is one of the best players in the draft. I really loved him. I was super excited that the Celtics could have possibly gotten him, but I'm happy with Robert Williams as well. But I think Mo Bamba is going to be fantastic. His depth, his size, it's insane. And I think he's got a lot to offer that team, and the best way for them to let him grow is to just get Vucevic out of there. It makes sense. Get someone else who can score, get another point guard, get something that makes their team better in a different way, instead of blocking out one of their young guys and stopping him from reaching his full potential. And I really like Aaron Gordon as well. I don't think they're going in the wrong direction. I think it's just a very slow it's a very slow approach at getting to the main point. There's teams like LA and Boston who just rebuild like that. LA was down for like 3 years, Boston was down for like 1 year, and then they're back in the playoffs. And then there's Orlando, who just struggles a lot with coming back into the situation. Since Dwight Howard, they have just not been a good team. They haven't been a good team since they lost that Jameer Nelson, Dwight Howard, Turkoglu, Ryan Anderson. That was a different era for them, and they were fantastic. They went to the finals. They lost to the Lakers, but they went to the finals. Speaking of the finals, the Magic making the finals now would just be something that's unheard of, because there's so many teams better than them. And even if they made the finals somehow, which to me is impossible at this point, they would definitely not win. They have nothing to show for it. And so if they can get Mo Bamba to increase his game and gel in with Aaron Gordon, I think that'll help their progress a lot more. And Vucevic, on the other hand, I think he'll grow a lot more as a player going to one of the best organizations, the San Antonio Spurs. Clearly he is a good player. He's been a good player for a while, but you only realize if someone's good if they are still good on a good team. If he gets to San Antonio, doesn't get the minutes he wants, can he still be that guy? Can he still be a efficient guy who gets in the paint, does some good moves, passes the ball out, gels well with the other players? I really like San Antonio basketball, and if he can fit well in there, I think it's a perfect addition. San Antonio's got some old guys. Pau Gasol probably going to retire soon. They have a lot of guys who are old and not going to stay for a while. So they've already lost Tony Parker. They've already lost Manu Ginobili. 2 big hits. They lost Kawhi Leonard, another big hit in terms of finals MVP. He's been to the finals. He was supposed to be their future. And I'm super salty about that, but I will not go into why I do not like Kawhi Leonard anymore. That is just... that's something that I might not know enough to be mad at him about. That's just, he's moved on, and I think the Spurs have a new era coming for them, and hopefully they can find a way to, play that kind of Spurs basketball without any of their faces left. Other than like Patty Mills they don't really have anybody left of the Tim Duncan era anymore, which is kind of sad to me because I saw them so much and they were always constantly a good team. So I think Vucevic is fantastic for the San Antonio Spurs, and he'll definitely help them be a better team and a better role player, which they need greatly. Now, for the main thing, the Celtics, which I love getting on, are always in the talks. The Celtics are always stirring something up, and right now, these days, it's primarily the fact that Kyrie Irving has not signed a contract extension, and he's going to be a free agent next year. And New York, apparently, is going to be the team to snag him from the Celtics, which to me, from the beginning, seems like it doesn't make sense to me at all. You know, New York is not a good team. They have one good player, Kristaps Porzingis, who I really like, but that can't be the only reason you'd want to go to a team. You know, when you're on the best team in one of the best teams in the league, but the best team in the conference by far. You know, you're on the team that has young guys and experienced guys at the same time. They have Al Horford and Gordon Hayward, who are experienced veterans, quote unquote, and they got young guys like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart. I mean, the number of young guys that the Celtics have, it makes no sense to me why Kyrie Irving would want to go to the New York Knicks. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. But I understand that it's the era of the super team, and Jimmy Butler has obviously been very vocal about trying to get Kyrie to play with him in New York or whatever, you know, just trying to set up a team that in which they can build their own super team. And I understand that, but I think the best way to go at this for Jimmy Butler even is to come to the Celtics. You know, the Celtics are clearly better. They're set up for the future. They have the picks. They're literally the best team in every which way in the Eastern Conference. They rule the Eastern Conference right now, in my opinion. I do understand that Toronto is a good team, and last year they had a better record, and they just got better because they got Kawhi Leonard. I understand all that, but I still don't think they're better than the Celtics because the Celtics didn't have, I mean, towards the end, they didn't have Kyrie for almost one-third of the season. They didn't have Gordon Hayward. Marcus Morris and Marcus Smart struggled with injuries all year. I mean, last year was an injury-filled season, and they still had a tremendous return. So this year is the year to watch the Celtics, because this year will actually prove what they're made of. Because the last year, that was kind of like a trial run where everything goes bad. Literally everything went bad for the Celtics. It couldn't have gone worse, in my opinion. It could not have gone. And the only way it could have gone worse is if Tatum tore his ACL and Brown tore his ACL. To me, that's the only thing that could have gone worse, because I was watching that game against the Cavs, and within 5 minutes, Gordon Hayward was down on the ground, and the season was over for him. And then Kyrie, with his knee and the cap and everything going wrong there, bringing back the stuff from the NBA Finals. I mean, he had to get surgery that was season-ending, and I thought he was going to come back for the playoffs. That went down as well. We had to go at LeBron James, who is the ruler of the East for the past, 8 years. We had to go at him without anything. We had to go at him with rookies, Jason Tatum. We had to go at him with Jaylen Brown. I mean, we had nothing at that point. We were playing with a team that probably wouldn't have made it there without their stars, supposedly, but they were so good that they were able to take them to 7 games. So to me, if you're Jimmy Butler, you should be trying to get Kyrie to stay on the Celtics and somehow get on the Celtics yourself, because the Celtics are a great destination. Boston is almost as big as New York. I mean, everybody knows where Boston is. Boston has such an amazing history. Sports is everything here. Why would you not want to come play here? And to me, if you're the Timberwolves, you also agree with this. You know, Jimmy Butler said he doesn't like playing on the Timberwolves. If you're the Timberwolves right now, you don't want him playing on your team. You don't take that disrespect. You have a good setup. Try to get some young guys out of the Celtics. Try to get that next pick. Try to get maybe Jaylen Brown. You know, I don't know what Danny Ainge puts Jimmy Butler's worth at, but to me, I would give up maybe Terry Rozier, maybe Marcus Smart. For here, I traded Marcus Smart and Morris, but I don't know if they would buy into that. To me, personally, I think Jimmy Butler is a fantastic player, and he's one of the best two-way players in the league, and he is one of the top shooting guards in the league. So, to me, I think maybe Jaylen Brown is the way to go. I really like Jaylen Brown, and I don't know if I would trade him exactly or not, but that's something to consider. If there's something else they're thinking of giving with him, maybe Jamal Crawford, maybe add some more veteran presence in there. I don't know, but I think if Jimmy Butler came on the Celtics right now, that's a pretty good bet that I would take, that Jimmy Butler would stay on the Celtics. Like, I know that people were very hesitant with Kawhi Leonard last year with Jimmy Butler too, but last year with Jimmy Butler, last year with Paul George, people were very confused on whether to pull the trigger and get a top-notch player without knowing if he'll stay or not. I mean, rumors were clearly saying that Kawhi Leonard wants to go to LA. Why would somebody want to try that? But then it worked, you know. Paul George said he wanted to play in LA, but LA didn't pull the trigger for him. The Thunder did, so he decided to stay there. He made a great relationship with Russell Westbrook, and he thought, hey, if I stay here, maybe we can do this thing, and I don't want to ruin my reputation like Kevin Durant or something and just choke and go on Los Angeles Lakers for no reason other than the fact that he loves LA and that LeBron just joined. You know, that doesn't make you look good specifically. What made him look good and what made people appreciate Paul George was the fact that he stayed, even though he'd given kind of his word to LA before that he was in love with the city. So to me, Jimmy Butler coming, I think it's more important that if they're already in the destination, it's hard for them to get out of it, because he said he wants to play with Kyrie. This is his chance. Play with Kyrie right now, and then he's going to stay. There's no reason to leave if you're on the best team in the conference. He's not going to go. He's been in the West. The only way to win in the West is if you're the Rockets, the Warriors, maybe LA. He said he could want to play with LeBron James, but to me that's way far off. That's not going to happen. I think it's more likely that he goes and plays with Kyrie, and I think it's better for the Celtics to try to get Jimmy Butler onto their team so that they don't lose Kyrie in the future, but because of Jimmy Butler. You don't want Jimmy Butler to convince Kyrie to leave the Celtics. You want Kyrie to convince Jimmy Butler to stay on the Celtics. That's what you want. So I think the best situation would be get rid of some picks, do what you can, because this makes the Celtics much stronger as well. It makes the Celtics a better defensive team, a better experienced team, because Jimmy Butler has consistently been to Eastern Conference Finals. He's been an all-star for a long time. He has been a fantastic player who also has that chip on his shoulder that most of the Celtics players do. So to me, it's a fantastic fit. Brad Stevens is a very defensive-minded coach who also, like Greg Popovich, plays a very team type of ball. And if he can make Kyrie, who is a very on-ball type player, gel together, I think Jimmy Butler would be fantastic on his team, because Jimmy Butler is, he's a good passer. He's a good player with other stars. Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah was on their team, Carlos Boozer. They had a lot of good guys back in the day. He's played with Karl Anthony Towns now, with Andrew Wiggins. He knows how to share that ball. He's been doing it almost his whole career, and he's been a guy who's been underestimated like a lot of these Celtics players. So I think, to me, the perfect fit would be maybe try to get the Timberwolves, who are already not happy with Butler, and get a little something out of him, because to me that's the perfect fit for either side, and the Wolves could try to cash something out and get something for themselves, maybe a young player or a draft pick or something like that. So yeah, I mean, basically, I think it's important for the Celtics to try to get something good right now. I know they've been trying to get at Anthony Davis, but that might just be a lost cause. Davis has been a Pelican his whole life, and Jimmy Butler, on the other hand, is telling openly that he wants to play with your best player. So to me, before he poaches your player, I think it's important for you to go out there and poach the guy who's going to take your player. I think that's very important, and I hope that the Celtics cash in on this and try to get a steal deal. You know, they got Danny Ainge. Maybe Danny can pull something great, and Kyrie and Jimmy can have their dream team lineup that they want. Why can't they set that up here? If they want to play with Kristaps Porzingis, that doesn't mean they're going to win. They can come here, play with young guys like Brown and Tatum, and then also have Gordon Hayward to finish off their big three. They got Al Horford, who's very experienced. To me, it's the perfect fit. But yeah, guys, anyway, To me, I think hopefully Nikola Vucevic ends up on the Spurs because I think that's a great fit. And Jimmy Butler coming to the Celtics would be excellent for Kyrie, for Butler, and for the Celtics. So yeah, guys, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think about both situations and what you think they'll end up like. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna come at you guys with more videos. So like this up. Let me know if you have any ideas for what I should make. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. Peace.